Hi, my name is Eliana and I'm a senior in the fashion department. When I design, I like to think of myself as a storyteller, as a world builder, and as a costumer of characters, I guess you could say. My collection is called The Weathering, and it was inspired by the fact that women are not included in history unless they're causing a storm. Whether that be the women's rights movement, women's suffrage, we're only talked about in history when we're like acting up or misbehaving, I guess. And other than that, we're not included in main history. It's women's history specifically. Could go on a whole rant, but basically I noticed this, and while researching for another project, I realized that weather kind of has the same problem, where weather is only talked about when it's storming and disrupting a war, or, you know, a hurricane hits and everything goes wrong. That's the only time it's included in history. It's never talked about when it's just like a sunny day and everyone was happy. Like, it's never it's never talked about in that way. And so, you know, weirdly in my head, I just started thinking how women are very similar to weather and how we're talked about, whether it's, you know, feminists being violent and being seen as their own special storm, or, yeah, I just kind of thought it was really fun to play with the tropes of severe weather and play with the tropes of feminism, and I just kind of adapted this, like, little society of women who embody elements of weather, and so that's how The Weathering was born. It's very, like, fun and playful, which is definitely what I like about, you know, designing and fashion, is you can create these, like, really fun spaces through garments. And so I first started kind of playing around with this idea with some collages that I was doing, that I was taking super sexist ads from like the 50s and 60s. Y'all know the ones of the housewives, yet those. And I started collaging with them into being these weather ads where the women were like, oh, striking, or like, you know, rain pouring down. They're like, oh, I feel my best when my tits are wet. You know, very like playful, silly, sexual, like just fun little collages. And I started kind of thinking like, no, like this is actually something, like this is like funny. I can really relate to this. I feel like empowered by this in a way. And so I started making those collages and I was like, let's do this thing. Let's just like see what happens. And so I started making muslins and playing with materials to find like which texture to me really embodied these qualities of weather, and that's how it was born. So thank you so much for watching me give you a little ramble about my collection overview. I hope you enjoy it.